Check our calendars.
We don't have a chair. We do like 10 more seconds till regular board meetings.
No, because I put the clock on
And
the
music going
computer.
on.
Okay. Good evening. Welcome to the Arlington Public Schools Board Meeting. I'd like to say thank you for all who are in attendance, here in the audience, or watching on YouTube or Zoom. We'll start with our Pledge of Allegiance by Maddie.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, we'll have our roll call attendance.
Director Diamond,
Present.
Director Kelly,
Here,
Director Watts,
Here.
President Levesque,
Here.
Director Knapp,
Present.
Student Advisor Van Beek, here. Student Advisor Phillips, here. Superintendent Sweetie, here.
Thank you. It's nice to have everybody here. And the next up is our approval of the regular meeting agenda. Is there anything anyone would like to change to the agenda, or if we have a motion to approve it as presented?
Make motion we approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second that.
It's been moved by Director Knapp and seconded by Director Diamond to approve the regular meeting agenda.
Director Diamond,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
aye.
Director Watts,
Aye.
President Levesque,
Aye.
Director Knapp.
Yes. Agenda is approved. That brings us to our recognition portion of our meeting. And we'd like to turn the time over to Superintendent Sweeting for our Orange Shirt Day recognition. Every child matters.
Thank you. We had invited the Stonquamish tribe, but they're unable to be here tonight. But I will do my best to share about this opportunity that we have, and recognition that will actually take place next Tuesday, the 30th of September. It's honored not only in the United States, but also Canada. And it's Orange Shirt Day, and Every Student Matters is really an opportunity to remind us that things have happened in our history that have been very difficult and sometimes unthinkable. And wearing an orange shirt signifies support for indigenous communities and remembering the hardship and painful incidents that they experienced when they were removed from their families to attend residential schools. And an individual who is a survivor of those, because there were some things that happened during that time when they were in residential schools, but Phyllis Webstad is a survivor. She went to a residential school when she was 6 years old. And at the time that she went, her grandmother had given her an orange shirt. But when she got to the residential school, they took it from her and she, they took it away from her. So that's one thought there, that she couldn't even wear the shirt from her grandmother. So the shirt was taken away from her, and that had impact to her, but there were other things that happened as well. But I'm very grateful for the positive partnership that we have with our local tribes. And we believe that it is essential that all students know that they belong here in our district, and that we care about each student, and that they would learn and achieve at the highest levels. And every student matters in Arlington, and that we're going to educate all kids, that every student belongs. That's my message about the Orange Shirt Day. It's just a reminder that every student belongs.
Thank you. That's beautiful. Next up is our minutes portion of our meeting. We have regular meeting minutes from September 8th. Is there any changes anyone would like to make, or do we have a motion to approve September 8th minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the September 8th minutes. A second.
It's been moved by Director Watson, seconded by Director Kelly to approve the September 8th minutes. Madam Clerk.
Director Diamond,
Yes.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Watts,
Yeah.
President Beck,
Aye.
Director Knapp.
Yes. Minutes are approved. The next up is the public comment portion of our meeting. Do we have anybody signed up to speak? Is there anybody in the audience that is interested in giving public comment tonight? All right, moving right along to our consent agenda. There's a lot of things on our consent agenda. Is there anything anyone would like to pull from the consent agenda for further discussion? Or do we have a motion to approve consent agenda as presented?
Can I ask a quick question? I'm curious what the donation from the Snoqualmie tribe was to Pioneer. Do we know?
It should be in the.
Oh.
I know what it's for.
Yeah.
Table.
Gina.
Gina.
knows.
It was like
The
a
financier.
really expensive table.
Oh, that's right. It was a table.
200 for a
That's right.
cafeteria table.
Wow, thank you, great collaboration, thank you, just was curious what that was, thank you. I'm all done.
Do we have a motion?
I make a motion, we approve the regular meeting consent agenda.
I will second that motion.
It's been moved by Director Kelly and seconded by Director Diamond to approve the consent agenda as presented. Director Diamond,
Yay.
Director Kelly,
Yay.
Director Watts.
Yay.
Aye. Director Young. Yay. The consent agenda is approved. That brings us to our new business portion of our meeting. And the first item there is unemployment compensation insurance program review. And we'd like to welcome Gina Zutenhorst, our Executive Director of Financial Services, to present for us.
Good afternoon, good evening. This is an annual item for the board. Board policy requires that we take a look at the unemployment compensation program that the district participates in each year. So here we go. We have been a member of this pool. It's through the Northwest ESD 189, and we've been a member of that since 1978. There are a number of other districts also in the pool, 27 others from Island County, San Juan County, Skagit, Snohomish, and Whatcom counties, and also the Northwest ESD 189 and Wasipsi are also members of that. It is a public entity risk pool for the purposes of unemployment insurance. So someone loses their job and becomes eligible for unemployment, then that's what we are insured through. And the way it works, our claims against the district are paid by the Washington State Department of Employment Security, WDES. And then the WDES is reimbursed by the pool for all claims paid. And it fulfills our obligation, and it's been proven to be financially efficient and effective. Just also to mention accountability with the pool, that it is audited by the Washington State Auditor's Office. And also there are actuarial and solvency assessments that are performed by PricewaterhouseCoopers, which is one of the big CPA firms, the national CPA firm. The net estimated savings, as we receive reports each year from the pool, and it provides this information to us, and it's also attached to within board docs. We have a net estimated savings since the inception of the pool, or our participation in it, of a 1.79 million. And then the net, and that's for Arlington. And then the net estimated savings for the whole pool is 54. And net favorable experience for Arlington, kind of showing a year by year play out of that. The most recent for the update on this is the bottom line, August 31st, 2024, that our favorable experience was valued at 466,555.
Can you explain that? I'm just a little trying to understand what that means.
It just means that we are saving as compared to if we were not insured through the pool,
Gotcha.
that we would have a higher cost of just having to flat out participation directly insuring ourselves through the Washington State Department of Employment Security.
Can you explain why in 2020 the savings were a lot less? Was there some significant challenges in 2020?
Yeah, we can recall back in the March of 2020, some very craziness was happening and it affected nationwide. And so the net favorable experience that year was less because we did have to make payments, bigger payments into the pool during that time.
So. So 2019 and before is more like what we're seeing 2021 through.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
And pay all the teachers to be.
So here's a little history summary of operations that was paid into the pool by Arlington for the past 5 years, just as a history. Back in previous, actually, before all the craziness, we really didn't have to make payments in because there was enough in the pool. I mean, we've participated since 1978. And so there was plenty in there and we were not needing to make payments in. But then you've got the history of what was going on over the next 5 years after that. And for 23-24, we've paid in 12,309. And then the claims paid out by the pool for Arlington for the past 5 years. You can see that history down there at the bottom with what we paid out in 23-24, or what the pool paid out for Arlington was $44,181.
So I'm questioning then, so 22-23 is almost 7,000. Why was 2 years ago 40, why was such a jump?
I don't have the detail of what claims are paid and processed through there. It can vary just on
So just like we are
there.
some, and this only, understanding unemployment, so this is if we're doing, if we're reducing staff. What about if someone is not returning, if they're not opting to return and their position is not filled, is that considered an unemployment?
These are more claims like for L and I.
Oh, no, it's work, it is unemployment, yeah. But I don't have, because I
Okay, I
don't
was just curious,
administer
it seems like a big,
unemployment. We do work directly with them, but it's outside of my department.
Okay,
Human Resources has a person that is interfaces with the pool as far as when there's a claim or when there's an eligibility situation, because it is something that, you know, there's a back and forth communication. But I don't have the specifics of exactly, and it can vary. Maybe it's because someone was not renewed and did not find an employment elsewhere, or depending on how long someone maybe was unemployed and needed to access benefits. I don't.
so it's a range. It just pops out at me a little bit.
Yeah.
That's all, that particular year.
Gina, this doesn't, the PFMLA doesn't play into
No.
this.
Does not, yeah, this is purely unemployment, not any of the other of the many things. Okay, so hopefully I've explained that well enough, and we'll move on to our next. So the rates and reserves, the pool rates are based on a 5-year, 100% experience rate model, individual district loss rate compared to overall pool loss rate, and value driven by claims. So these are the assessments, because they tell us this is how much you need to pay in this year based on so much data. And so the 23-24, it was 18,463, and it's pretty similar for 24-25, 18,999. And there's also capital reserves that are met by each district that is in the pool based on the district's taxable wages and what is in there for, as far as how it's all spread out. We haven't had to pay in on that for a long time, ever that I see.
You know, larger districts obviously would have more of that.
They
They would
absolutely
pay
do.
more into that.
They absolutely do, yeah. Estimated contribution, if we were paying into the state fund, is like 2.6 million. And net estimated savings since in the inception then is 1.797 million. And the pool is still considered a wise business solution for unemployment insurance, both financially and administratively. So that's just a quick rundown of the numbers, the meeting with our requirement to report out to the board how the pool is operating, how it's doing, what it's costing us. Are there any other questions? Thanks.
Is there any acronyms that perfectly explain for our student advisors? Do you guys have any questions? Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Next is our first reading of board policies 1733, board member compensation, 1810, annual governance goals and objectives, and 1815, ethical conduct for board members, and 1820, board self-assessment. And Dr. Sweeting, I'm going to cover all of those.
So the 1,000 series was, I reviewed those all during last year, we finished it up, I finished them up this summer. Because we do a regular review like every 3-4 years. And what I do is I look at the WASDA model policy, consider what we do, in practice, and then make sure they align. So the red wording on this one is from WASDA, and they changed the classification to important. And it talks about the compensation that you can't determine your compensation, that is determined at the state level. And it gives you the articles for that. And so just clarifying.
I had one question about this.
Sure.
It doesn't really specify if it's fiscal year or calendar year.
Oh, for the
For the
4,800.
4,800 per year. So wondering, like,
Well,
our practices are fiscal year, right, Gina?
Yeah.
September to August.
Yeah. I would say fiscal. Instead of
I think so.
January to
Yeah.
December, it'd be September to August.
Yeah.
We need
to have that in
Does-
the.
Would it be a problem if we added fiscal in there somewhere?
For fiscal year or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's clear. and
Does
you say
it,
that.
does it conflict with the RCW?
Well, and then I'd have to, we check with the auditors, like what their approach is to this. I don't think that hasn't been audited exactly, so it's a good question. I can check, Gina and I can discuss it.
And it may be inferred because 28A is pretty much all school district stuff. And so when they're talking about year, unless they say calendar year, they mean fiscal year. I don't
Okay.
Yeah, because you wrote
read it
this.
that way.
So it's implied.
Potentially.
Okay.
But we could make it clear for us if we wanted.
We had questions a while ago.
Yeah, I'd have to figure out exactly. So, okay. That's cool.
That's my only.
Okay, anything else for this one? Because it's first reading, and we'll come back for second reading. The next one is 1810. And this one it's changed its classification, which is pretty minor from encouraged to important. Actually, it's a big change. And then letter E, it's just a way of, we talked about this in the study session, how important to have the engagement of our community in education. So we just reworded it, and we wanted to make sure that this aligned with the WASDA policy and emphasizes the engagement. The statement that we're crossing out is a good statement still, but it says engaging the local community and representing the values and expectations they hold for their schools. Well, not everyone in our community has the same values. So we want to engage everybody, no matter what their opinions are or what their values are. We want to have everybody's feedback. So that, I think it's better that it's more broad, and that's recommended by WASDA. So that is 1810. The next one is 1815. This is ethical conduct for school directors. And this is fairly new. The board just adopted this in 2022 for the first time. And it's just talking about code of ethics. And it's just doing some clarifying. They wanted to change school directors to board members. This is all directed by WASDA. These corrections are not coming from myself or anybody. It's coming from WASDA. And they, as you know, they have their legal counsel look at the policies, and this was their recommendation. At the very bottom, this is a discretionary one, but we have it. The board has already approved it. It says addressing school board director violations, and then it has, what the next steps would be.
Interesting.
And that's straight from the laws to.
Correct. Yeah, we didn't make this up. This was from WASDA and their legal
Are
department.
they
And
moving more towards it labeling school directors as board members? Because WASDA, half of that is school director.
No, actually,
Just for
right.
this one, I just think it's interesting that, I'm wondering why they.
Well, I think that when I first read this, the clarity there is like, when you say school directors, that could be like Carl Olson.
Oh, so like, yeah, it could be
That makes
more
like
than
yes,
yes,
yeah.
So, so
Cabinet members.
So really, the word would be school board director.
if you're gonna put the
Right.
whole thing.
Right.
Same
I
as
mean,
the
it
board
makes
member, yeah.
sense, but like, the sentences make sense.
But we
I thought it
can
was
leave,
interesting that they
but
were.
we can leave the word school in if we want, say school board members. We could do that if you'd prefer.
And I feel like if it's saying board member, I feel like that's also a bit unfair.
Yeah,
There aren't any other roles in our administration where you have board, like you have a cabinet, you don't have a board. The board we
That, right?
recognizes as a school
Right.
board.
No, I think you're right. But I think if it just said school directors. that's-
Yeah, that leaves a little more
That's-
open.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
So I think that's the reason for
Yeah,
that.
thanks.
You can see that the policy legal means it just was this July that they've come out with this. That's that one, that was 1815. I'll bring it back for second reading, and then the last one is 1820.
You're there.
And this one is changing the same wording that we just did. So in the previous one, we were talking about the engagement in the community education. When we do our board self-assessment, that's what it says. So when you look at the indicators, so now it mirrors
Good.
what it says. And this is now changed from encouraged to important. So just they're pretty simple, but I think it's important the board, approves these changes. Or not, makes a decision, so.
So we have no action items. This
No
was
action
just a
item.
review for
Nope,
First
no action.
reading, but does anybody have anything explained or? All right, thank you. That was very fast. New business portion of our meeting. Next comes our informational item. We'll start with our superintendent report. Dr. Susan.
I have, first of all, today is the first day of fall. So, which, I love the change of colors, the trees are already starting to change, so kind of reminds me of renewal. Spring does that to me as well, but it's still the renewal of things and change. So it's nice that to happen and moving into different seasons. We have had 2 football games, home football games. We had some away, but they've been great. First one, our score was a little bit lopsided. But then this last game on Friday night was the other lopsided, so we prevailed and kids did great, and the cheerleaders did great, and the band did great. Yeah, it was wonderful. And they also had I didn't go to it, but I went to the football game, but they had the first dance after. So I don't know if Alex and Maddie, if you went to that, but I didn't go to that, but I did go to the game and enjoyed the game and the music. Then tomorrow we have school visits. We're going, several board members, and cabinet, and I don't think we have a legislator coming tomorrow, but we do have a city council person that may come tomorrow that has signed up. And we're going to Weston, which includes transitions and open doors, and then we'll go to
There's a
Howard.
puppy.
Oh,
Scotty Pepper's puppy.
okay, Mary wants a puppy, but I know Mabel might be there, we'll see. So anyway, go to Howard after that, and then on Thursday, we have the district-wide shakeout, which in the state, the shakeout, so practicing earthquake drills and those things and reunification. We usually, state does it in October, but we do it in September because hoping better weather. So that happens on Thursday. That's all I have.
Thank you. Next up is our legislative updates and discussion. Director Kelly.
So, I attended that session on Saturday. I was positively surprised how, absolutely quick and efficient it was. Give a little backstory. This used to be all day Friday and then partial on Saturday. So that was my first couple years' experience. And the past 2 years, it's been, I guess, last year and this year have been on Saturday. And last year was really a full Saturday, so that's what was my expectation. That did not occur. We were done, I think, by 12:30 or 12:45. So again, Mary could probably vouch for this. I believe, if I understand, if I remember, first of all, this thing used to be pretty full. This year's much smaller, and I think it was something, I want to say over 100 resolution. It was giant. They pared this down to 27.
Oh, wow.
I was very happy to see that number, which made me feel like the people that you have voted for to be in a role of resolutions and legislative committees have done their work, right? They've met and they've organized. So it was great in that respect. I just wanted to give you a little rundown of some of the issues that I thought were worthy. They looked at some bylaws. I have to say which I like this, it gives you the categories and then it tells you what the WASDA board committee recommendations are. And I really go by that. I really am looking and saying, what have they already parsed out and said yes or no to? And it's funny because the issues that came up as do pass or do not pass, I think I was aligned with every single one. It was interesting listening to people speak. Generally, a school district will put them, so Seattle Public Schools, has this resolution. They wanted to make a change. So I look at the school who's proposing. Generally, there's a person from that district that then is speaking on their behalf, which makes perfect sense. But then there's the dialogue. There's the discourse in why yes, do pass or do not. Is this a pro or a con debate? And I listened to people, and I had one gentleman that I knew from my leadership group, and David from Puyallup, and he was speaking on something, and I thought, I hear what you're saying, and I know who you are, and we're aligned in a lot of ways, but I don't agree with you on this issue. So I really had to think about, that was helpful to me. And I think as you do boardship for a number of years, you get to start to know the players. You get to know people a bit. Like, okay. And even I get my guy, I can't think of his name right now. I've never seen the man without a hat, but he's from Darrington, one of our board members from Darrington. Can't think of his name right now. And I listen to him, and it says the opposite happened. There was an issue that came up like, oh, I got this guy. I know what he's going to say. And then it was like, bam, you shocked me. And his issue was on TK. So there was an amended proposal for transition to kindergarten. And this would have limited transitional kindergarten. Districts would not be able to expand or add it. And he was speaking, and I was thinking, oh, I know how this, yep, I know what he's going to say. And he didn't say it. I'm like, thank you. You're Darrington. It makes sense that you want this for your community, that you need it more than even others need it. And so I think his name is Randy. I think it's Randy. And I just appreciated that again, being that open-mindedness, like you think you know something, and then you're like, okay, or people that you have had similarities in other issues, and you're like, okay, on this one, we're gonna diverge. And it was all very positive. What else did we say? There was the one that was an amended proposal. Parents and families are important. So interesting when you were talking about verbiage. Verbiage matters because there was a fair amount of discourse on this one. We didn't run over time, but they're talking about family versus the word parents. They wanted the word family. And there's a lot to that. There can be a lot to that. And when I heard different people speak on it, it was to a certain group of people, it was about equity. There's not everybody, right? Not everybody has a mom and dad, or maybe you're being raised by grandparents, or maybe you're raised by an extended family. So that word really mattered to people. It wasn't just the birth parents. So that was an interesting conversation. And that one did not pass. They were trying to insert a word that most people did not want. And the other one was governance training. Oh, this was interesting. And again, you had to really think about what is it this proposal was looking to do. So I can support more training as a board member. I'm all about training. If there's more training, I'll generally take it. But one of our board directors had put up, they were worried this would be an unfunded mandate. It would be something the legislature would say, and some of our school boards, right, the funding is not there for a lot of us being in the situation that Gina has shared. What 75% of our districts are not in a happy place financially. But it just felt like, okay, yeah, you need to do all this training, and then it's on the board, it's on the districts to then pay for that training. And so I appreciate that argument, and I thought, okay, if WASDA wants us to be trained, or if the state wants us to be trained, do it during our WASDA sessions, do it on some onboarding. And so it's just interesting. You read it at face value and you think the issue is one thing, but then once you have that conversation, you dive in a little deeper. But yeah, it was all, yeah, really good. I can't think if there was anything. Those are school safety, early learning programs. Yeah, the whole thing overall went really well. And like I said, I was pleased with the succinct nature and it flowed right there. I mean, this sucker, I mean, he's up there, the other one comes up, says it, Nate's announced it. It was very clean. And I felt like it was worthy of our time. It really was. So good meeting. Oh, and I want to tell you, so on the 25th, so later this week, I should be getting to you. I will, I guess, send it to Brenda. We will communicate out. So we will be asked by WASDA what our top 10 are. And I would appreciate this going to our student representatives as well and just confirming that, or letting us know what your top 10 are. So really, obviously, we have 27, so kind of prioritizing that. And then we'll take that and then those essentially become our top 10 that can become our top 3. And that's what we take to Olympia. And we advocate for those main 3. But we'll get that sent out when we get it from WASDA on the 25th. But anyway, that's about it until our November gathering. So that'll be fun to say. And I'm also running for an office. I'm running for legislative committee. So I have another opponent who's in Cedar Woolley, and I know a few other people. I'm just trying to navigate a little bit, but I just whatever I can do to kind of immerse myself a little bit more into how we can get our. There we are. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Kelly. That was a general friendly. Next up is our comments from our board members, and I'd like to start with our student advisors. Hoping you can give us some insight into what you're seeing and your perspective and some of your peers' perspectives. So I'd like to start with Maddie Van Beek, our senior advisor this time.
Well, school's doing great. I have gotten some kind of feedback from classmates. I know we have a new AOP program this year called Amenum, or however you say it. Don't know if I said it right. But I've heard a lot of troubles. I have it my 7th period and I've had a lot of trouble with it too. Kind of just progress being taken. I was put into a class, I'm taking a music class, right? And so I was put into a class for like a week and a half and I got halfway through the class because if I finish that semester, I get to go to leadership, which I really want to do. So I log in the next day and that class is deleted, completely deleted. And so I don't have anything to work on that day. I'm like, where'd my class go? So I email my teacher and I come in the next day and he put me in a completely new class and I have no progress at all. And so I've just been working on that and I lost progress in that and I keep gaining and losing it. And a lot of my other classmates have been doing that too. And it's just really frustrating. And I know it's new, but I feel like there could have been a way to kind of get it figured out before school started and not have it like that, like happen like this, where we're losing progress and getting frustrated. But yeah.
I appreciate you sharing.
Mhm.
Sounds
Besides-
frustrating.
Yeah.
Everything else okay?
Yeah, good. Snarl's good, everything. Making friends, new students,
And what are you taking us in a while?
veterinary assisting.
Options. Yes.
Thank you.
The boss first, trying to make some.
Oh, so junior
Make a few calls.
student advisor.
Right now, school's going pretty good. This last week, we had our first advisory meeting, like with our actual advisory teachers, where we talked about spill the tea. And, I see them in the hallway now, it's really awesome, and they also have, it's like in the computers now that you go roll down and you can find the Padlet that's also on the posters. No, I don't know if anyone's really taken to it yet. I'm hoping they are. I'm kind of like pushing people like it's a great program. They've been working on it for so long. All that. I'm hopefully more people will start to use it as the year goes on. Homecoming's just around the corner. I know a lot of people are excited about that. I think it's like a beach theme, from what I've heard.
Very fun.
Yeah, very interesting theme.
For the mermaids. For middle of October.
Yeah.
Pacific Northwest, we're all about beach.
It's an interesting thing. But yeah, everyone's just like kind of in the groove right now in the trenches, getting ready for all like our units to be over and start like testing and all that. But I haven't heard any complaints yet, majorly. Yeah.
Sherry, anything else you'd like to add?
Just, yeah, I feel your experience about testing, because I'm on the teacher side of testing, and I'm like, I just want this done already. I understand it's important, especially being, you gotta get that benchmarking, kind of get them fresh before they get smart on you and learn everything. But yeah, it's going well. I'm happy that, school is going well, and my kids are on their second celebration in 2.5 weeks. So they have earned another party, and I said, I just make a big deal and just laugh like, oh my gosh, you're gonna make me go to Walmart again, get more treats for you. And last week we did a little survey because I bought the treats the first time. I'm like, that wasn't really fair. I need to know like what you like. And so last week I said, all right, we'll take a vote. One kid said sushi. And I'm like, I looked at him like, you just walked off another plane. I'm like, hello, do you think I have money to buy all you sushi? It was really sweet though. I think that, it's that thing again too about engagement. Like, how can I include you? Like, yeah, I can show up with snacks, but if somebody's sitting there wiping off the icing off the cupcakes, then maybe that wasn't their favorite snack, right? So yeah, I got my goodies ready. So I said, we're not gonna wait till Friday. We're gonna do it on Wednesday, have a little half hour at the end of our day. I said, and I kept expressing, I'm like, it's you, it's your celebration. You did this. I said, I'm out here, monitoring and facilitating. I said, but your behavior and your support, your community in this room is really helping. So I feel really blessed. I'm just really lucky to have this group of kiddos, and I hope I do it justice. I hope I'm learning a lot as I'm doing it. So it's a good year.
For sure. Director Diamond, you have anything you'd like to share?
No, I have nothing tonight.
Director Lot.
I do. Okay, so first, cross country, Jacob is in cross country, and the girls did awesome at their meet on Saturday at South Whitby. The boys individual had some individuals that did really awesome. So it's fun, and the thing that's really kind of neat is we have a new kind of way of doing things, because we did have the Scott family helping with all the food, but now we're dividing it with other families, so it's getting a lot more involvement from parents and sending out the communications each week. And of course, we've always had to fit the team dinners, but this is even going beyond that. So it's been fun to build that community in a different way since parents have moved on with their kids. So we moved Lucas up Friday to Western. He officially starts school Wednesday, so I'm waiting for him and Ben's first day of school pick, because I was very insistent on that. I've gotten a picture every day this week since moving on. And I did good. I only cried twice. My oldest just ran a marathon. It's his second time. Last year he shaved 14 minutes off his time and did so good. And he felt amazing, and it was a fun family affair having us all there supporting him, even the puppies. I'm excited for Student Voices on Friday at Eagle Creek, getting back into that school year grind. I want to thank getting those things done. I want to thank Maddie for sharing a concern, because I think that's something that we all need to hear. So bring those forward. And I really want to thank Tracy for bringing us dinner tonight. Because eating at 8 o'clock at night is not fun, so appreciate you.
Yes, round of applause for.
Yes.
Thank you. Erica, Director Knapp, anything you'd like to
Yeah.
share?
I did also see the spill the tea boxes, so I don't know if everybody knows. It was really cool to be back with the students for Student Advisory Council, and so it's boxes in teachers' classrooms that the students have identified. Do you remember when they came and did the presentation? So it's actually working. The students have their cards and boxes are out there, so yeah. We can just wait and see what happens. Watch the box.
Yeah, they have 100 boxes.
100 boxes.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's good.
Not that they're all out,
Opportunity.
but there's 70 classrooms.
Okay. And the exciting news in our house is tomorrow, the kids get to be back on campus at SVLC.
Thank you.
So, yes, thank you. We've been doing remote learning, which is, the boys are like, it's like the back to school nerves now. They're like, we like being home, we want to see our friends. Don't really want to start the school year, so it was just delayed a little bit. Yeah, so, yay. Looking forward to the school visits.
Good. Me too. I'm looking forward to school visits. Big thank you to everybody who attended tonight and for sharing. It helps us be stronger when we hear what's going well and what's not. We need to hear that. So looking forward to seeing some kids learning in action tomorrow at Weston and hope there's a puppy and.
Need to get
Mary's all about the puppy.
Maybe.
Dog centered here. Student centered, dog centered.
I don't really have much to add. I just still thinking about how we can do more to get more involved in our community, to have those courageous conversations with our constituents.
Can I ask a question? Quick? So we had a mental health youth forum or youth mental health forum in November of last year. Are we still looking at doing that again this year?
We haven't talked to the Student Advisory Council about it, but we had our first meeting just recently, and we talked about the updates of where they're at and then where they want to go.
Okay,
So we're just getting started. We have a few new students.
Okay.
You know, so we'll see where that.
okay,
They have some interest in peer-to-peer mentoring. That was one thing that we talked about.
okay. So just
And mental health, those two.
update us if that's something.
I think they're a great thing. I think I think it also connects to how we connect to people in our community. Because we brought so many people into that school to talk to them. And I think even if we don't focus on mental health in SAC, I think we should continue doing the mental health forums. And you can even get kids that are not part of like district programs and just ask if they want to do it. And you get kids who are struggling with everyday things at the high school and at the middle schools.
I would love that. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. So I want to remind everybody about our next regular board meeting is on Monday, October 13th at 6 p.m. right here in the boardroom. And the next part of our meeting is we're going to be recessing into an executive session. I know we've been scripted. Student advisors do not have to stay. They have a ride home. But here, I'm gonna read my script. We will now recess this meeting so that the board may convene in an executive session to review the performance of an employee. I estimate the executive session will last approximately 15 minutes, during which time no final action will be taken. Following the executive session, this meeting will be reconvened for the sole purpose of adjournment. So it is 6:42 on my watch, so that means we'll come back at.
Think about it. Right, okay. That work?
We can do whatever we say we're gonna do. So you want to do 17 minutes?
Okay.
Or just take 2 minutes for it.
So we'll be back at 7.
7 o'clock.
We'll be back at 7.
With the 2 minutes.
Don't make me do math.
We were ready and I'm like, I saw this stall hoping someone would insert the
from our executive session, and now we are ready to adjourn the meeting. Is there a motion?
I would like to make a motion to adjourn, please.
And I'll second.
It has been moved by Director Diamond and seconded by Director Watts to adjourn the meeting. Madam Clerk.
Director Dunn.
Yes.
Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Watts.
Yes.
Yes.
Director.
Yes.
Meeting's adjourned.